I see how the bond between a parent and their child wards off pedophiles. It's in the shadow of good parenting. I spent 3 months in Alaska. People who didn't know me judged me for doing so without considering what I was doing in Alaska. Setting my family up for the long haul with land in America, a meteorite business I started, and more. Now, the timing was inconvenient, considering that she had just given birth, but it had to be that time according to the immigration office for her paperwork. There was simply no other way. I wasn't joyriding. I was strategically winning the long game for my entire family. My wife totally understood and was 100% on my side. We Zoom called every day, the entire family. Despite that, however, one of my toddlers began to bond a bit more with his mother than me. I totally understand why. I was simply not there physically for 3 months. To adults, 3 months is a blink of an eye. It's not even a proper military deployment. To a toddler, that's a long time, regardless of whether I was on the Zoom calls with him or not. When I came back home to them in Northern Europe, I saw his body language differ toward me. My other children didn't seem affected in the same way. The bond between us was still very strong. It wasn't awkward between us, but the one toddler almost avoided me entirely, until there was a moment of sadness. Without going into detail, my toddler experienced a moment of sadness leading into a tantrum. It was over something small like cake or something. I'm sure we all know how toddlers can get. My wife was in the next room. She told him no, as in no more cake for you. I hadn't heard her say this, else I would have respected her word. The way we do it as parents in my home is this. Whoever gives the first command to the kid, whoever sets that first mandate, that is the mandate that gets respected. Otherwise, that parent gets undermined when the other parent overrules the initial mandate. This way, the leadership of the house is always in unison. And even if there is a personal disagreement between my wife and I about who called what shot, we handle that privately without necessarily debating in front of the kids. Instinctively, the kids know that my word is the final word on everything overall. I am the highest rank in the house, if there would be such a thing. But my wife is like my lieutenant. If she makes a call, then she didn't make the call. Leadership made the call. We made the call. So if the kids have a problem with something their mother says, don't disrespect their mother. Dare to disrespect me if you're brave enough. When leadership makes a call, unless there is some kind of emergent change in circumstances, that's final. You don't go over your mother's head to the top of the chain of command thinking that you're going to get a different answer. And even if my answer would have been different, if my wife gave the command first, that's the command. Period. We've even explained this to the kids verbally at the dinner table. I am the highest rank. Mom is second in command whenever dad isn't in the room, and then the rank of each kid correlates with their age, but a child can be promoted or demoted depending on their behavior. I once demoted my daughter for her behavior and promoted her brother, my firstborn son, above her. This taught her a sharp lesson about her ego and meritocracy in the house. Yes, she may be her daddy's little princess, but princesses are meant to grow into queens, and queens need to learn how to lead their people by example the same exact way a king would. If she does not behave in a way befitting a queen, she will forfeit queenly benefits. The difference reflects in the little things like who gets assigned what chores, who gets what privileges, who can stay up a little later, who can spend a little more time at the PlayStation controller. What kid has to listen to what kid pertaining to ownership over which tasks, and a system of getting things done around the house that alleviates stress off of we parents in a way that is correct for each kid. Very organized, disciplined chain of command with room for meritocratic promotion or demotion. With all that said, one of our toddlers heard no from my lieutenant about more cake. I was in another room, didn't quite hear what was going on. I see my toddler crying when I exit that room. I ask him what's wrong and immediately switch into save the day mode. I say he can get more cake. His big brother tried to stop him. The toddler says, Daddy said yes. The toddler helps himself to more cake. I unintentionally undermined my wife's command, unknowingly allowing the toddler to go over her head. When I found out later, I apologized. I noticed after, however, that I unintentionally conditioned my toddler to be warmer to me. The bond that was broken when I left for the Alaskan wilderness for 3 months repaired itself. It wasn't just about the cake, because a toddler's brain is not that complicated yet. It was about associating daddy with feel better. So now, he breaks into the master bedroom just to be around me. And whenever he has a problem, he immediately runs to me, seeing how my word seems to carry a bit more social weight than my wife's. And I'm less likely to say no. But this isn't what's special about what I came to understand about how to protect my children from pedophiles holistically. If we observe the devil in the details here in this little personal story of mine, it was during my toddler's moment of sadness that I swooped in. My thought process wasn't even to reestablish any bond. It was just simply to do what I thought was the right thing. But what can be observed here is that it'll be the same archetypal moment of sadness for your children that a watchful pedophile will swoop in to establish that bond, which is why that bond between you and your child is far more important than you may realize. Not even to maximize happiness, but to holistically protect them.